Hi guys, it's Steph. I'm here to talk to you about Sagrada and all of its amazing colors. Look at that box. It just makes you want to play the game. It's what drew me to it in the first place. I didn't even care what was in the box. I wanted to play. This is an amazing dice drafting game where players will draft these dice in order to fill their stained glass window. It's beautiful. I love it. So, what happens in this game? On your turn, you will draw dice equal to the number of player times 2 plus 1. So 2 per person plus 1. And I play a lot of 2-player games, so I will demonstrate this as a 2-player game. And I will be pulling 5 dice from the bag. Now, on your turn, you're going to draft the die and put it into your stained glass window. But first, before the whole game starts, you're going to choose which stained glass window you want to do. So you get a choice of 2 cards, and they both are double-sided. And then from there, you will get to choose which card you want. There are common goals that players want to use here. And you're going to aim for these different patterns. There's also going to be a hidden goal with a color on it. And you want to be going for that color as well. So if I know I'm doing red, now the other players won't know, but if I know that, then I might pick a board with some red on it. Or not, maybe I don't, but let's just say I do. And I will choose this one here and put it in my window so it's all beautiful. Okay, so with the, oh, I forgot to say, with this one, it is 5 strength. So that means I get 5 marbles to use in game. And it also tells you the level of difficulty it is. So if I'm picking a level 6, it probably means it's a little more challenging. If you're going to start the game, and you've never played before, you probably want to go with a easier one to have an easier time. They can be quite difficult, especially if the rolling is very not going your way, which happens a lot in dice games anyway, for me. And if you're playing 2-player, you don't want something too challenging because you're not going to see half of the dice in this dice bag right here. So, on your turn, you pull out the number of dice, so in this case 5, and you roll them. And then I will be picking 1, and then the next player will be picking 2, and then it will come back to me for the final pick. So it goes snake style around the table and then back. So if you're the first player, you get first pick and last pick. But there's always going to be a choice from 2 and 1 left over in the round. There are 10 rounds, and so if this is the last one in the first round, it will go there. Now, I have these special marbles. If they are unused at the end of the game, then you get 1 point for each one. But generally, you want to use them if you see fit. So these are special actions that you can take on your turn during the game. There's a whole bunch of them, so you don't really know what you're going to get. So in this game, move any 1 die in your window to ignore the shade restriction. So in your window, there's these patterns. Wherever there's a yellow space, I must place a yellow die. Wherever there's a red space, I must place a red die. And wherever there's these numbers here, I have to place that value. Now, it could be any color, but it has to be that value. What's cool about this game is that you're going to be placing these dice on your board, but you can't ever place a yellow next to a yellow. Or you can never place the same number next to the same number. So I can't have my 5 in the corner next to another 5 right there. However, it can be diagonal. That's totally legal. The first die that you pick is pretty important because once you place it on the board, you can only ever go adjacent to a die that you've already placed. So if I place this yellow one right here, I can go in these 5 locations. Diagonal counts for adjacency in this game. So I can place off of there, but there's no way that I can come over here and do that. So, back to here, I don't have to follow the rule. I'm able to place a 3 in the 1 section on the board, so that's really handy. If you can't draft a die because you can't place it, you can spend a marble to go there and then place a number wherever you want, basically. You still have to follow the rules where you have to be adjacent, but you might not have to follow the rule for placing the number exactly. So the first person to go on one of these cards, it costs 1 marble. The second person and every other person after that, it only costs 2. But these are points, so you want to try and, use them with caution, if you will. This one here says, after drafting, flip the die to its opposite side. All right, that's really handy. So if I needed this 6 and I only could choose from a 1 here, well, I can flip it over by spending a marble and going there. Finally, the last one says, after drafting, return the die to the dice bag and pull 1 die from the bag. Choose a value and place it on the new die on the board, obeying all placement rules. All right, so that really gives you a lot of options. You're going to simply pick a die and then choose what number you want. That's pretty good. So, again, you want to use these, probably towards the end of the game when you really can't place anything because you have no options to. So, but that's my advice. Now, this card that everybody gets is a goal card. You score points for, in this case, the red one. Every red die on your board, you count up the pips, and that's points. So you want to get all the red dice you can. There's also these common goals. In this game, it looks like everybody has 5 columns on their board, and this card represents if you have different colored dice in each of the 4 locations, then you'll get an additional 5 points. This one is a lot harder to have a different color in the row. That is so hard to do. Every time I try and do this, it just never works. I always get like 1 row. But yeah, so you're going to be wanting to put different colors in the row to score 6 points. So you can get that up to 4 times. And then the column one, you can get up to 5 times for, big points. So you want to try and do that. This one, you want pairs of 4 and 3. The numbers 4 and 3. For each pair of those numbers, you get 2 points. So that should be pretty easy in theory. Again, you have to be going with the restriction of your board as well. So I see on my board I have a lot of 5s and 6s. But in all the other locations, I might be able to try and squeeze in those 4 and 3s. You never know. So anyway, this board's already set up. I'm just going to play a few rounds. So, my first roll. Alright, so I got a few 6s here. I know I need a red here, but I don't want to put a 6 here because I know I'm going to need a 6 here. So if I put a red 6 here, I know I'm automatically screwed for that location. So, yeah, don't do that. But I could take a 6 yellow. Well, 6 yellow. And then it'd be purple's turn. I can see that they need purples and a few reds here, so that they would probably pick the 6 red for there. And, well, I could place a blue 5 right there, or a 4 yellow there. I can't place the purple 6 because it's already adjacent to a 6, so I will go with the required space, so it's 1 less thing to worry about later. So the blue 5, and then it comes back to me. I could place the purple 6 there. I can't put the yellow 5 in either of those spots because it would be adjacent to this yellow, and I can't put the 6 in any of those spots because it's a 6. So my only options are this spot and that spot. This one and that one. So I could do another yellow, which is probably wise. So I will fill in my other yellow requirement there. This die gets put up here. Then the next player would go and pull 5 from the bag. Okay. So that's their roll. They get first pick. So they'll look. All right, let's say that one goes there, fits in there. And then it's my turn, so I get to choose 2 dice. And I would probably go with the green 5. I wouldn't want to put it here because I have a 5 right there, so I'd probably put it there. And then, oh look, I can meet my 6 requirement there. So it comes back to purple player, and it would be there. The 5 would meet that requirement. So this goes on and on for 10 rounds, and you're going to get more hard and difficult choices as the game goes on. You're going to want to start spending these marbles to make it work, because every empty space at the end of the game is worth -1 points. So that's bad. You want to try and fill in your board as best you can. But these marbles are also, they help out and give you a +1 for each time. So that's my pretty fast overview of Sagrada. I hope you like it because I love it. I think it's really easy and fun to play with everybody. I know my mom will want to play because she'll see this box and want, what? That's awesome. So if it makes my mom want to play, that's a good sign for me. It's also really thinking and puzzly, and I love it. It plays in 20 minutes, and it's so much fun. So I highly recommend it. Thanks, guys.